Hey, what's up guys? Sean Nalawani here, bodytransformationtruth.com. In today's video, I want to go over the benefits and the proper form for the standing cable pullover, which is a really great exercise when it comes to isolating your lats. Now, pullovers aren't something that you generally see being performed at the gym very often these days, but they're actually one of the oldest bodybuilding movements in the book. And they actually used to be referred to as the upper body squat back in like the 50s and 60s, because a lot of lifters considered them to be the best overall upper body lift out there. Now, I definitely wouldn't consider pullovers to be the very best upper body exercise available, but they definitely are a great movement for the lats, and they work really well as a finishing movement to round out your overall lat workout. Now, most lifters, especially beginners, tend to have a really hard time really feeling it in their lats and activating the muscles effectively when using standard vertical and horizontal pulling movements, because other muscles tend to take over, such as the biceps and the shoulders and the other muscles of the mid-back. And pullovers help you to directly isolate your lats through a large range of motion and with minimal involvement of those other muscle groups. So the traditional way that pullovers are usually performed is by laying perpendicular across a bench and then using a single dumbbell. Now, this is still a good exercise overall, but the problem with dumbbell pullovers is that they don't give you consistent tension on your lats throughout the entire range of motion. And that's because of the straight up and down direction that gravity is pulling the resistance. So what happens is that your lats end up being hit really hard in the first half of the range, but as you pull the dumbbell further and further toward your chest, the stress decreases until there's pretty much little to no tension at all on your lats in the finishing position. So actually, the best way to perform this exercise is by using a pullover machine, because it gives you the fullest range of motion possible, and it also keeps full tension on your lats from the very bottom of the movement all the way up to the top. So if your gym happens to have a pullover machine available, then I would suggest using that. However, most gyms don't have them available, and in that case, I'd recommend that you perform the standing cable pullover variation instead. So here is the proper form for those. So you're gonna place a straight bar or an easy curl bar attachment as high up on a cable stand as possible, and then you're gonna grab the attachment using an overhand grip with your hands spaced about shoulder width apart and keeping roughly a 30-degree bend in your elbows. You wanna have a good solid stance with your feet spaced about shoulder width apart, either directly side by side or with one foot slightly in front of the other. Keep your lower back slightly arched, keep your chest puffed out, and your torso leaning forward. And then you're just gonna pull the cable attachment down in a circular movement until your arms are at your sides and you feel a good strong contraction in your lats. Focus on driving the resistance down using your elbows rather than your hands, because that will help you to maximize lat activation. And from there, just raise the bar back up under control until it is directly overhead and your lats are nice and stretched out before pulling the weight back down again. Now keep in mind that because everybody has a different body structure and varying shoulder flexibility, the exact distance that you stand from the machine and the range of motion that you use will vary a bit from person to person. So you're gonna need to experiment with the movement to just find the position for yourself that allows you to hit your lats as effectively as possible and that also feels most comfortable on your shoulders and your elbows. My suggestion is to perform these as a finishing movement at the end of your lat workout after all of your compound vertical and horizontal pulling movements have been completed. You can do them for 3 to 4 sets for anywhere from 8 to 12 controlled reps. These are a fairly uncommon exercise, but standing cable pullovers allow you to hit your lats using a different angle than traditional pull-ups, pull-downs, and rows, and they're a great way to round out your workout for maximum lat stimulation and growth. So thanks for watching this video lesson. I hope you found the information useful here today. For more simple but highly effective training tips to maximize your muscle building and your fat burning progress, along with science-based nutrition and supplementation information, make sure to head over to bodytransformationtruth.com and grab my complete body transformation blueprint system by clicking the icon at the top of the video or by using the link in the description box below. If you did enjoy the video, as always, please make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on future videos. And make sure to check out my official blog over at seannell.com to stay up to date on all of my latest articles, tips, and other updates. Talk to you again soon.